Good. You have performed the first line of the bhajan with Bhavabhinaya, and I'm glad to see that you remember all the actions. Now we will continue with the rest of the bhajan. Now, as I told you, that every time we repeat a line or a word, we bring in different actions to show that each word and each line can be interpreted on various levels. That is what poetry is about. When you read a poem, you try to interpret the poem on various levels and explore the various meanings of the words. Now, you had finished with Sri Ram. And you know that Ram, depicted here, is as if he is picking up the arrow from the quiver. Now, we continue with this pose. Now, remember that our body weight was on the right foot, body thrown back with the right knee bent to keep the balance. Now, from here, we have Navakanja. Remember, Navakanja means the lotus bud. So, the left hand shows the lotus bud. Navakanja, Lochana. Now, here, when you're showing Lochana, you are imagining Ram's eye. And so, the beauty of Ram's eye is something that you can see. But since Ram is there in your imagination, you are showing with your own eye. So, Navakanja Lochana. Then you come to the center with your body weight. Kanja Mukha. Mukha, your face. You are circling your face with your right hand. Kanja Mukha. Then Kara Kanja. Here, you don't have enough time to show a full lotus. So, it's Kara Kanja, as if the lotus is separated and is becoming the two hands. Kara Kanja. Then you imagine the feet of Ram. Pada, as if you are touching both the feet. Pada Kanja Runam. Here, as if the reddish tint at the break of dawn is spreading across the sky. So, Pada Kanjarunam. Then we interpret the same line again through different actions. Navakanja Lochana, showing both the eyes. Then Kanja Mukha, as if the face is the lotus. Kanja Mukha, Kara Kanja. Ram is blessing his devotees. Then you sit down and as if touch the feet of Ram. Pada, again same action. Kanjarunam. You are praying to Sri Ram. Sri Ram. Sri Ram, doing the arati, offering flowers, and then you gradually get up, Sri Ram. So, will you do this with the song?
Navakanjalochana kanjamukhakarkanj padakanjarunam navakanjalochana kanjamukhakarakanj padakanjarunam Sri Ram Sri Ram Sri Ram Sri Ram.
That was good, but again, a little more synchronization with the words is required. But since you're doing it for the first time, I'm sure by the end of the lesson, you will have perfect coordination. For instance, like when you're showing the pada, then you sit down. Because Karakanja, you're here. At that time, you're concentrating on Ram blessing his followers. And when you're saying pada, or rather when the song is pada, then you sit down and touch the feet. Kanjarunam. Then again, Kanja Mukha. With the words, you have to match the actions. But on the whole, it's good. Now you remember we had discussed the words and the meanings. Kandarpa. And we had said Kandarpa is Kamadev or Cupid. Now Indian mythology says that Cupid or Kamadev uses various flowers to pierce people with his arrow. Like his arrow has flowers in it instead of pointed weapons. And so here we are showing Kamadev holding the bow. Now Ram also holds the bow and Kamadev also holds the bow. But Ram is heroic and Kamadev is more or less a little childlike. Okay? So when you show Ram, you have the heroic pose. But for Kamadev, it is not very heroic. Rather, he is more playful. So you are holding the bow and you are picking up the flower and using it for your arrow. So, Kandarpa. Or rather, you can do it facing this side because the song goes fast. Kandarpa. Then Aganita, we said, is countless. Now, when you have abstract words, then you can't express abstract ideas. So, you have to express it through concrete expressions or concrete terms. Now, we can show counting, right? But we can't show countless. So, aganita, as if you're counting, but you can't find your way counting, okay? Aganita. Amita is endless, boundless. Now, a circle is in its own way without an end, because if you think of a circle, it has no beginning and no end. So, a circle is shown for the idea of Amita. So, Aganita, Amita. Chhabi, image, again the face. Chhabi. Then Kandarpa again. This time Kandarpa is holding the bow and he is walking in his typical playful childlike way. He is no hero, he is no warrior. So, Kandarpa. Full of mischief, naughtiness, playfulness. Kandarpa, then Aganita, as if you are trying to count how many. But you, Aganita, then you are showing the circle from up downwards. Amita, Chhabi, image, Chhabi. So, these are the two ways of showing Kandarpa, Aganita, Amita, Chhabi. Now, Nava Neela Neerada Sundaram. We are showing the clouds. And so, we are trying to draw the outline of the clouds with our hands. So, Nava Neela Neerada. If you think of the cloud and you're drawing the outline with your hand and your wrist, Neela Neerada Sundaram. Here you are looking at the sky, seeing the cloud and admiring it. This gesture shows beauty, purity. So, Sundaram. Then again, Navanila Nirada, as if you have the billowing clouds above. So, Navanila Nirada. Here, as if, if you see the monsoon clouds, and here you have a shift in the body weight going forward and backward. As your hand is going back, your body is going back. Hand is coming forwards. Navanila Nirada Sundaram. Right? Now, Patapita said that the yellow outfit. So, Patapita, first you are showing the chadar or the cloth that he has above. Patapita Manahu is, you imagine. So, Manahu Tarita. Tarit is lightning. You use this gesture with two fingers apart, and as if it's cutting across you, this line goes from here to here, but again it's a zigzag line. You use your wrist. So the hand is going from here to here, the finger is like this, your wrist is shaking, and to show the action to be wider, you are actually covering space on the ground too. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So, Tarita Ruchi. So, when the lightning ends here, you look. Ruchi. Then again, Patapita. This time we are showing the dhoti. Okay. So, Patapita. Go around. Patapita Manahu. Here, with the tarit, instead of cutting it on both sides, to bring a variation, we go round. Tarita Ruchi. So, like when lightning comes, you suddenly blink, okay? But at the same time, you are amazed. It's wonderful, but in a way, you are a little frightened also. So, that idea of lightning, Tarita Ruchi Suchi. Then, Navami. Navami is simple. I pray to Navami Janak, a king. How do you show a king? First, with the heroic posture. King. Now, you can't imagine a beggar to stand like this. So, I mean, even if a beggar wears the outfit of a king, a beggar by his own body language will show that he is a beggar. But a king. So, even if he stands like this, you know that he is a king. Now, here, we could have shown the crown, but we have descriptions of Ram wearing the crown. So, here we will show the ornament worn in the upper hand, upper arm ornament. This also is worn by kings. Janaka Suta is daughter. So, his little daughter. Time. Jasuta Varam. Here we have Sita with the garland which she is going to offer to Ram and accept him as her husband. Then she is going gradually. So, Janaka Suta Varam, we establish Sita. Then she goes slowly towards Ram. And here there is a feeling of happiness, a certain shyness as well, because in those days, ladies, when going towards their lover or their husbands, were always a little shy, okay? So, Suta Varam. Then we show Ram. Ram at this time was a forest dweller. So, his hair is tied in a knot. Sri Ram. Then you know the story of how Ram won Sita. He had to lift and break the Haradhanu or the bow offered by Shiva. So here he is lifting the bow, now which is very heavy. So in order to lift the bow, you bend forward, your weight on the left foot, leftly bent, then you gradually raise your hand, pull the string, and here you have broken the bow. And in the process, the weight is shifted from the left leg to the right leg, from left knee bent to right knee bent. So Sri Ram first going round with the knot. Next Sri Ram, you lift the bow. Third Sri Ram, you break the bow. And now you turn around and you hold Sita. Now, both Sita's expression and Ram's expression while looking at Sita are full of romantic love. Okay, it's Shringar Ras, which you have love and passion for each other. Okay, but when he is lifting the bow, then he has the heroic mood or Veer Rasa. So let's do this part. In the next part, we will learn the rest of the bhajan. We have already covered 2 verses of the hymn on Ram by Tulsidas. In this part, we continue with the next verse. The verse begins with Bhaja Deena Bandhu. Bhaja, as you know, we had discussed it earlier, means I sing in praise of or I pray to. Now, you have seen the Vaishnavites pray to God. They are as if in a trance and holding the cymbals in both hands. They are here as if you're in a trance. Your body is swaying, and here we sway our body starting from the feet. The body weight shifts from the edge of the right foot and again coming back to the left foot, from side to side. The action is not from the middle of the body, it's from the feet. And here we are holding our arms upwards as if holding the cymbal. We are playing the cymbal and Bhaja Deena Bandhu, as if you're in a trance. We are immersed in devotion. Bhaja Deena Bandhu, Dinesh. Remember, we had discussed that one meaning is the sun. So, Dinesh. We are showing the round sun. We are using the index and the middle fingers and drawing a circle like this. Dinesha, then Danava. You know, Danava means demons, and these demons were always fighting. I mean, they are always full of this fighting and like very aggressive spirit. So, Danava. And in Danava, you try to look like a demon. Danava. Then again, Bhaja Dina Bandhu. Here we have already shown the bhajan part of it. So here, Bhaja Dina. Dina, this means a child. This also means those who are downtrodden, who need our help. Dina Bandhu. As if Ram is offering his hands and helping the downtrodden. Dina Bandhu. Dinesh. Here, Dinesh means with Dinesh with the Dirgha Di, which means the Lord of the downtrodden ones. Dinesha. Here, Danav. In mythology, you see or you read about the demons who have the horns. So, here we are showing Danava. Then, Dalana Daitya Nikandaram. This is also sometimes sung as Daitya Vangsha Nikandaram, which basically means the same thing, that he is destroying and killing all the demons. So here, to show destruction, we use the sword. Beginning from here, we cut across the air. Actually, we are cutting the demon, but here there is no demon. We have to imagine the demon and cut across the air. Dalana Daitya. So basically, our hand is going from right to left downwards, left upwards to right downwards, but we are turning. Dalana Daitya. Then we are picking up the arrow from the quiver. Nikandaram. When I take the arrow, I'm looking at the quiver or at the direction of the quiver. Take the arrow, look here, then pulling it, and there is no arrow. So the arrow can't go and pierce any place, but our eye, like we have to imagine that when the arrow is hitting a place, our eye looks there. So our eye is actually traveling like the arrow. So Nikandaram. Then in the next part is a very sweet part in which we have another mood, a typical Vaishnavite mood of Vatsalya, where you show love for a child. Now here we of course begin with a heroic pose. Raghunanda. Raghu is the forefather of Ram, and Raghunanda means son of Raghu or son of that family. And here we show Raghunanda with the tilak, the mark on the forehead, which was worn by heroes and people of high caste. So Raghunanda, Ananda Kendra. Ananda Kendra means he who is the center of all happiness. So Ananda Kendra. Pray Ananda Kendra. Then Koshala, we said, was the area. And so we show the area as if we are showing the entire region. Koshala Chandra. Here we show the moon. The moon. This is the typical hand gesture for the moon. Koshala Chandra. Then Dasharatha. Dasharatha is again a king. He is Ram's father. So he is wearing the crown. So if you're holding the crown from the front with your left hand, from the back with your right hand. Dasharatha Nandanam. Then Raghunanda. Here you are imagining the little child, because as soon as you have shown Nandanam, you can come to the time when Ram is a child. Raghunanda Ananda Kendra. As if you are holding Ram. Come here, you are holding Ram like this. And then this is called Nazar Utarna. Like when you have a lovely child, you feel that like evil eyes might fall on him. So this is taking away all the evil glances that might come. Then, so it's Raghunanda, Ananda Kendra, Koshala Chandra, Dasharatha Nandanam. Then you take the child, Raghunanda, as if you are holding him and he is toddling along. So Raghunanda Ananda Kendra, Koshala Chanda, Dasharatha Nandanam. You're admiring the child. And this you can also do, the Vatsalya, while sitting down also. Because after all, he's a little child and you are a grown up. So you can sit down and caress the child. So then after this, we come to Sri Ram, where we are still holding the little child. This you don't have to have in a very fixed way. You can imagine that you're hugging a child, you're caressing a child, you're making him walk. So all the 4 Sri Rams that follow this verse have to do with Vatsalya Ras. So let us do this part. As is your caress. So in each verse, we try to create one new mood. In the earlier part, since we were dealing with Sita, it was Sringar Rasa. Sringar has to do with the feeling of romantic love. And here we have Vatsalya Ras, which has to do with parental love. We have covered 3 verses of this beautiful hymn, which actually consists of 5 verses. We will complete the Bhavabhinaya to this beautiful bhajan in the next episode.